Well, this is it. This is what all the excitement's been about. You would think this was probably the biggest story in the Isle of Man. There's more press, cameras, and everyone else interested in Bendy buses. I mean, can you believe this?
No.
No.
No, we're starting the trial period now, and obviously there's been quite a lot of media attention in the run-up. And yes, you're all here today to see how it works.
Okay, let's get the facts and the fictions. First of all, this is going to put some bus drivers out of jobs.
Yes, it's likely, if it's successful, the trial, to put 8 bus drivers out of work. We turn over about 8 bus drivers a year, so it's the equivalent of 1 year's turnover.
This is something you have to negotiate, or you can just make some bus drivers redundant?
It's likely to be natural wastage over a period, so we won't have to make anyone redundant. We just won't be recruiting.
Okay. Now, these take about, what, 150 people, and the double decker takes about 90, so this is where you're going to make the savings. Less drivers required on the school runs to start with.
There are at the moment 8 bus routes which have 2 double deckers on them, and clearly what we're aiming to do is to replace those 16 double deckers with 8 articulated buses. An articulated bus is cheaper to buy than a double decker, only by a few £1,000s, but you only need 1 of them, not 2 of them. Right. So over the next few financial years, if the trial is successful and we do it, we'll save 300,000 a year of operating costs, and we'll save 3 million of capital.
Well, I dug around on YouTube to see the dangers of Bendy buses. And I can only find one actual bit of video. It's of a double deck, a Bendy bus in a tunnel, and the back end was kind of lost control. But would you say they are safe?
They're as safe as any other bus, really. The accident statistics don't put them as any more dangerous or less dangerous, and bus is a very safe mode of travel. You've just come over Paul Moulton Bridge and you didn't even notice, did you?
No, but I am holding on.
Yes, well, of course you are. You hold on any bus.
But I mean, some of the media went quite excitable about children having to stand up in buses. What do you say to that?
There's decisions to be made. We've got £1 million a year coming off our budget, and we need economies. This saves 300,000 a year, and that's a very big saving. Now, if you want children all to sit down, then we need to buy a lot more buses, and we haven't got the capital and we haven't got the revenue. Okay.
Now, these are doing children's runs, but they're actually going to be used as positioner buses to start with. This is the thin end of the wedge, isn't it? This is just the start of a 10. You'll get them on those services, and before you know it, the Isle of Man will be full of Bendy buses.
There's no point in running a bus bigger than you need. When I was appointed here, a majority of the fleet were double deckers. They obviously have increased operating costs, and we just didn't need that. We've had 25 new single deckers over that period, and we converted double deckers to single decks. Everyone has saved operating costs in fuel. The worst performing double decker does 4.85 to the gallon. The Mercedes are doing over 8 on interurban runs and just under 8 running around Douglas. Major fuel saving, major capital saving, about 60,000 a vehicle. And the island's made that because we're short of money. But it's a hard operation to run because you're having dedicated buses on dedicated routes. We're investigating running minibuses on rural routes. That will save operating costs and capital costs. In the past, they've tried to stick to one type of bus because it makes it easier to run. I've got to run it in a tighter economic way. Okay,
well, it's not guaranteed yet until it's been had this independent review, right?
That's right. There's an independent assessment being done, and that'll judge what to do next.